Hello everybody, it's time to practice. You need to remember that if you do not practice, you will never become a good programmer, okay? So, today we are going to create a simple program that will be able to add two numbers, subtract two numbers, multiply two numbers, and divide them, okay? So we are going to create a simple calculator, okay? That's our job. So you can try to do it on your own. If you do not know how to do it, then play with me, okay? Watch that lecture and stay with me by looking what I did. But after this lecture, give yourself 20 minutes and try to do the same thing. Or even expand the calculator by some new operations, okay? Okay, let's go back to our calculator. So what do we need to do? Firstly, we need to ask the user what he wants to do. If he wants to add, subtract, multiply, or divide numbers, okay? So we need to create some kind of menu, okay? But how can we create menu? How can we create something that will act like menu, that will look similar to menu? I think that we could just print these four options in the console, and it looks like menu, but we need to be able to choose from these options, right? We need to allow the user to be able to choose from these options. So I think that we could add, for example, a number before each topic. And if the user types 1, we will allow him to add numbers. If he types 2, he will be able to subtract. If he types 3, he will be able to multiply. If he types 4, he will be able to divide, okay? And now, as you can see, well, okay, that looks better. So this is some kind of menu, but we need to ask the user for the number. In order to ask the user for the number, we could use, instead of the print function, we could use the input function, right? And after it, we could, for example, add the colon and the space. So he has the space here after the menu to put something for our program, right? As you can see, we have got here now colons, suggesting that we should type here something. So when I type, for example, 1, our program ends, because right now we just got inside our script that 1 from user, and our code looks like that, right? And that's all. We need to do something with that 1 coming from the user. Well, we need to assign it to some kind of variable. So we can create a variable that will be called, for example, menu option. So now we can decide, depending on what will be chosen by the user, what we want to do. Okay, so we can now use, for example, conditional statements. If menu option is equal to 1, then we will add two numbers. But we don't have these two numbers, so we need to also ask for them, right? So let's create a variable that we'll call first number, and let's assign to it first number that will be put here by the user. Now, let's do the same thing with the second number, and now let's print the result like that. First number plus second number. And now let's run the module. Now when we type 1, as you can see, we can type the first number, so for example 10 and 5, and bam, nothing happens. Why? I did it again on purpose, because you need to remember, you need to take it deeply into your mind that this thing, if you do not use the casting, if you do not use something like that, then this thing is really a string, right? We can check it. We can type your menu option. As you can see, it's 1 with that single quotes here, so it means that it's string. So we will need to compare it like that, okay? Or we can stay like that, but we need to use the casting here, okay? Remember about it. But hey, why not? Let's change it to this thing, and maybe let's use here the signs, like for example plus, minus sign, the asterisk, and the slash, like that. And now we can just check if he typed the plus sign, right? And then we will add two numbers. That will work fine too. Okay, so if we want to add these two numbers, we should also think about them as ints. So we should do something like that. Otherwise, we'll try to add two strings. Remember about it. So let's run the module. Let's use the plus sign and let's add, for example, 5 plus 10. Bah, and we have 15. Okay, so this is the first option from our calculator. We need to go into other options. So like that. Else if, so in other case, if somebody in menu option has chosen the minus sign, then we'll print the result of subtraction, right? Like that. And now again, else if. That's cool because you can put as many else if as you want after each other. It is the asterisk, then we'll multiply. And else if it's the slash, then we'll divide these two numbers. Okay? And else, in all other cases, it means that somebody typed something that was not expected, and we'll just tell him, you have typed something unexpected. Okay? Like that. And now when we run the module, of course, the column here, I apologize. And now when we type something unexpected, well, you have typed something unexpected because, well, we check it here, right? When we do something like, for example, asterisk, and we do something like 4 multiplied by 8, it is 32, which is true. So our calculator is working fine. But we have got still something that's not good. Look, we have got here division, right? So if somebody type slash and he wants to divide 5, sorry, let's do it again. And the module, 5, and now we type 0. As you can see, we have got here an error, division by 0, and our program has stopped working. We do not want to have a situation like that. We should check if the second number is 0 before division, okay? So in this case, we should check if the second number is equal to 0. If it's true, and now it's very important, we need to add here indent, because this instruction will be executed if this thing is true, right? So we need to add here another indent, and this indent will suggest that this instruction belongs to that instruction, right? To that conditional statement here, to the if second equals to 0, okay? So we'll print division by 0. You cannot do it like that, okay? And otherwise, if it's not 0, if it's another number, it's a number that it's not equal to 0, we'll just divide these two numbers. Of course, we need to add the column here. So please notice that I have got indentation here and here. And this instruction, when this instruction is true, then this conditional statement will be executed. And if this conditional statement is true, then this one will be executed. Otherwise, this instruction will be executed. So now when we run the module, again the column, when we type the slash, first number, for example, 5, and then the second number 0, as you can see, division by 0, you cannot do it. And if we do something like that, and now 5 divided by 1, as you can see, the result is 5. So everything works properly. So that's how we have just created a simple calculator. You can add more to it, like, for example, you can try to power numbers, right? You can use the modulo operator. As an exercise, you can create more options to choose from. And, well, as an exercise, you should create this program from scratch, okay? remove everything that you see here, just create it from scratch. After 20 minutes after watching this lecture, you should practice by creating this program. It will be great exercise. As you can see, I am missing each time this column here and I am doing it because I program in lots of languages, programming languages, and they do not use that column here, and somehow I really tend to you know, lose them. That's my fault, and I apologize for that. But you know, when you're programming many languages, there are these small differences like this thing, and you know, it's hard to change your habits when you are changing from one programming language to another programming instantly, and you're like, again I have forgotten about that column. So I apologize again. I hope you're not angry with me. I wish you good luck in practicing the Python language by creating a simple calculator. That's only the lesson. Thank you very much.